how high the obstacles, we always overcome.
What Nigerians need now is not about the top thing. Who can come and salvage us from where we are?
Representing people. Mr. President, my people are under siege.
I will place economic stability.
Good morning and welcome to Open Conversation on Atlantic Television Network. Open Conversation is the network's flagship political platform through which trending political news, events and stories are discussed with stakeholders. Through these conversations, ATN uses political talks about specific issues, party system and actor to explore hope and engender positive impact to the society. Today we'll look at these stories first. APC dismisses ADC's claims of opposition suppression. And then on to Labour Party. Osman-led faction seeks INEC acting chair's arrest. And on politics, EFCC vows to probe Okowa despite defection. Kanu sacks lawyers, takes over self-defense in court. And on 2027, governorship experience makes me the best ADC candidate, Amechi says. And Kwakwanso condemns politicians for abandoning suffering Nigerians. We are open for sponsorship of the program, advert placements, news, events coverage, and commercials. Watch us live on our website, www.atlanticnetwork.tv. On Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. You can also watch us on Avon TV platform, Niger TV, and Efastech TV platform. You can connect with us on our ATN socials by subscribing, like, and share. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network. Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. And on Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. We'll go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll delve right into the show. Do not go away. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Joining me on Open Conversation this morning is Chizi Nyomasla. Chizi Nyomasla is a regular on Open Conversation. He's a socio-political analyst and he's also the leader ICU Group. Good morning, Chizi, and welcome.
Yes, good morning.
It's a pleasure to have you again today.
Thank you. Good morning, Nigerians.
And I have with me Emi Ferraga, also a regular on Open Conversation and a socio-political analyst. Interestingly, I had to hijack Emi literally to this program this morning. Emi, I am very happy to have you this morning again.
The pleasure is mine. It's good that you announce what happened behind the scene.
And then on to the story. All Progressive Congress in Lagos State has dismissed allegations by the African Democratic Congress that President Bola Tinubu's administration is silencing opposition voices ahead of the 2027 elections. Reacting to the claims, APC spokesman Sheye Oladejo described the accusation as baseless and likened it to a mosquito accusing a lion of roaring too loudly. Oladejo said the ADC was merely preparing excuses for its impending defeat, insisting that under Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, the ruling party is focused on delivering results rather than engaging in distractions from what he termed professional complainers. He added that the only thing being silenced in today's Nigeria is failure, confusion, and politics of bitterness. The APC maintained that it is consolidating its structures and unity, while the ADC remains plagued by internal disarray. Oladejo mocked the opposition for existing only on newspaper pages and WhatsApp groups, saying Nigerians have long moved on from empty political vessels. He urged the ADC to stop crying wolf and instead focus on reconnecting with the people. Chizi, I'll start with you. What do you make of this comeback at the ADC by APC?
You know, when you were going through that, I suspected that you were going to come to me first. I did that because, you see, Nigerians, we have to speak the truth. And I have to speak from where I am. I'm from River State. You know, that is where I'm going to speak from. Right. I'm not going to speak in Lagos. I am from River State, and I like what they said. All I read about ADC is on paper. I don't know where ADC is. I don't find any ADC in my ward and in our local government. I don't even know. And you know that in River State, whether you like it or yes, I'm a grassroots politician. I know almost everywhere in River State. I don't even find ADC. They are just operating like any of these NGOs, you know. I can't even call them a strong NGOs because they can't compare my NGO. I can't even. That's why I'm wondering, because I won't speak about other states. I don't know what they do in other states. But for River State too, I know ADC cannot even come forth in an election. They won't even contest. All they will do is, but it's good for them to come and watch us do something and watch, you know, parties do something so they can complain, you know, and then of course, so that at least if they are there, because I wanted them to come stronger. Let me tell you, there's a petition. If they come stronger, some of us who are grassroots mobilizers will be recognized better. But they're not coming stronger. And you can't see anything. They're just talking. In fact, the River State is not even on newspaper, it's on WhatsApp. Online. That's what, in fact, so they communicate on their ADC based on their WhatsApp platforms and all of that. Even on Facebook, they're not strong. So what are we even talking about? ADC, in which ADC? I was asking in my ward, for instance, who is ADC chairman? Who is ADC? Nobody will come out openly to say I am ADC anything. Nobody. Nobody. So we understand for Lagos, I mean not, but for here, ADC does not exist, as long as I'm concerned.
All right, very well. What do you make of this story?
You see, with the condition of the Nigeria state, I think people will always want to raise questions. People will always want to seek answers to those questions. And also, you know, politics as required in a democratic setting. On ADC, since we operate a multi-party system, ADC is a registered political party according to the led by the hijacking man, David Mark, who hijacked party, and his counterpart, this Regbeshola, who are even disobeying the caution of the ADC, claiming leadership and the rest of it. So for now, on media, we know that David Mark is the chairman of ADC. So they have some structure on media, maybe some areas. But the question of governance, I think we people are trying to criticize the Bola Ahmed Tinubu-led administration for non-performance, for destroying the economy and the rest of it. I say, okay, sometimes we just say, okay, but let's look at the issues. In what area are we actually experiencing this destruction that you are pointing out? You will tell me, oh, are you not in Nigeria? Don't you go to the market? I don't see reasons. I go to the market, yes. I'm in Nigeria. So what is the issues? Let's discuss the matter. We're not discussing Pierre Parlor talk and the rest. They will tell you how much was a bag of rice before APC came. How much was a bag of rice before Tinubu became president? It's a shallow discussion. You see, I look at it as very childish. So the bag of rice, let's even assume, okay, it's 500,000. Is that the destruction of the economy? What took us here? How much was a bag of rice in 1999? How much was a liter of petroleum, PMS, in 1999? It was 20 naira. So if the PMS at that time were subsidizing and paying to some persons who are making Nigeria, we were paying for their welfare while Nigerians were suffering. And the thing has been removed. So what is the issue? Is it not the suffering that it has brought? And so I just look at this as all shenanigans. Let us discuss. Who are these persons, even in ADC? Who are the savior that want to rescue Nigeria? Name them. David Mark. Let's start from the head. A former Senate president. Former minister under military regime. Former this, former that, who represented Benue State in the National Assembly, later the Senate president. What are his antecedents politically? What actually did he do? And he was not there as independent candidate, but as a member of a party under the PDP. The Aregbesola, former governor of Osun State. Tell me the one of the person in ADC that was not former this or is not former that or former this. Obi was former governor of Anambra State. Also worked in PDP. Amechi, former governor of Rivers State. So who is the person that is coming to rescue Nigeria? How did we get here? Before Tinubu came to power, which farm that we know as a mechanized farm owned by the Nigerian government? Was there any? Even during the PDP era, we had some governors, trying to engage in farming. You had some policies that has to do with agriculture and the rest. Currently, tell me one of the PDP states that is funding agriculture. Those in ADC. So you just make noise, you're trying to show that you are on ground and all that. Criticize, but criticize objectively. Give us statistics. Tell us at a time, the transport system was at this level. But since Tinubu came, the transport system is dead. Tell us that in the whole of the Southeast, so number of projects were started and completed before the administration of the APC in 2015, and now Tinubu came and the road suddenly disappeared. I've always challenged people to come. Let us discuss Nigeria development.
But you know that particularly right now, what APC has been accusing, just like Labour Party and ADC have been accusing, the PDP, the Labour Party, the ADC, they have been saying one thing, that the country is tilting into one party state. Okay. And they are accusing APC, like ADC is now saying, they're accusing APC of suppression, right? So the crises that are ongoing among the opposition parties, they are saying that this crisis, it's more like the voice is the voice of Jacob, but the hand is the hand of Esau.
But Loresha, let us go back the memory lane in our political history. I remember Nigeria has 36 states, right? Mm-hmm. I remember at a time in this country, we had PDP having, I think, about 32 governors out of 36. If you have 32 governors under our political party, so is it now that you even have more than 10 parties having or governors that will not tilt towards a one-party state? When people don't know what to say, you want to take over power, right? Convince Nigerians. Tell them things that will convince them to say that, yes, these people now, they are coming with a better alternative. Not telling me that, oh, you are accusing, oh, one party state. But meanwhile, those in ADC were in PDP. Name one person who is in ADC today that wasn't in PDP. Name one. Who? That wasn't in the PDP. Except maybe Aregbe Shola, who was commissioner to Tinubu, then he wasn't in the PDP. They name any other person. David Mark, Amechi, Peter Obi, who wasn't in PDP. Peter Obi actually started in PDP. From PDP to Abga to
Is Peter
to
Obi now a
PDP.
member of ADC?
We don't even know
He
where
has
he is.
not-
I don't even know where he is.
not picked
Atiku
membership.
Abubakar, Atiku is partyless. Peter Obi is, I don't know.
He's still a member of Labour Party.
But recently he was campaigning for the candidates of ADC
But he's still a
in
member of
Abuja.
that, but
And he was telling you that this is the party that all of us we work for. And he also mentioned that he's not afraid of contesting the ADC ticket with Atiku. Right. So for me, I don't know where he is until even if he tells me that he's in Labour Party, I will not believe.
All right, very
I will
well.
never believe him because based on antecedents, I will not believe him.
All right. Chizzy, you wanted to react to the allegations by opposition party.
My brother took on the economy. I just didn't want to dive into those economy because I wanted to concentrate on their accusing the president of trying to emasculate them into becoming one political party. I've always told you this, that this is one thing politicians do. When they are in power, they do everything, and as soon as they lose power, they become activists. They become activists. In fact, when they organized this, they just completed local government, and I saw that the PDP won 3 local government and other APC. I told you here that has never happened in River State. It has always been, if it's PDP, everybody's PDP. If it's APC, everybody should be APC. Of course, there has never been APC here. If it is anything, anybody is that. But let me ask you, like he was talking about, even the ADC itself, they are confused. I think that they don't even trust the ADC. Up to, as I talk with you, Atiku has not fully registered in ADC.
Yes.
That means Atiku does not trust the ADC. RFI has not fully registered in ADC. He does not trust. What's it called? OB has not registered in ADC. So they are looking at, what I'm even seeing is that they're seeing ADC as a flagship, to be able to use to create problem, and they go back to wherever. As I talk with you, not only is Obi claiming to be in Labour Party, he's also trying to eye the presidential candidacy in PDP. Even Amechi has started looking at PDP. So they know that what they have cannot, and they suspend themselves. RFI was there as governor. There was with APC. Just 6 months into the tenure of Tinubu, something became wrong with APC. You should just know it's about power. It's just that they are not there. And don't forget that RFI was supposed to be minister. Also forget that Amechi contested this, and I've said it. He may kill me. Amechi is my brother, but I have to say it. The problem between Amechi and Jonathan wasn't because Jonathan was doing anything wrong to him. It was just because Jonathan was going to be posted as the first South president, and that will mirror his chances. But as soon as Saraki, that was given the contract in Ada George, that road, he gave Saraki a sitting governor of Kwara.
A contract in a state.
In a state. That contract was to him as governor. Chairman of governor. That the was Saraki. Yeah, that was the president. And no wonder they were the one who were bringing INEC chairman, they were the one who were bringing in oh, they gave it to for you. Oh, you don't, why? After this, he said the APC and say, oh, no, Atiku was going to be a strong politician. You know, as a strong politician, Atiku will not hand over to them. So they all came around Buhari and thought that what they were going to do is to begin to dictate for him what will happen and all of that. He was just going to be there, you know, putting his hand. Of course, that's what he did. He just placed his hand on the pause button in Nigerian economy. Pause button. There, anything can be. He can. That's why you can see that somebody. I have a friend who was screened as MD of NDDC and was not allowed to be the MD of NDDC. And after 2 years, we went to Daura and Buhari saw him and said, MD, you have not seen me after 2 years. MD. He called him MD, the man that was not sworn in, you know, as president. He called the man MD, so you have not seen me after 2 years. So the man said, I'm not MD. So what? You're not MD, but you were screened. So he didn't know that after the screening, that the minister didn't. So the ministers became too powerful. They could do anything. They can appoint this one. They can do anything because the man was not interested and they were happy. And so everything that happened there, it was their caucus. Now, Amechi thought that he was going to be the candidate, automatic candidate. In fact, I can shock you that prior to the convention that day, a week or 2 weeks to that time, we have done reconstructed Amechi's place, brought military army, soldiers to come and guide the president, the candidate of APC. Well, including me, including this one saying here, we were all sure. But we went there, and then what played out. And so we couldn't reconcile ourselves to okay, having played out, which is my anger, having played out all of these things, that we should come back. Because you see, my people will say, how do I use it? You know, there are things that adage you use is better in your language. I'm a typical village man. But what that means is that if you have children, you don't run too fast. There are certain compromises you must make. We have a candidate already who contested with you, not because they rigged it, but because people, started stepping down and then did that. So that was not rigging. If you had your own power, you can't do it. So when the person won as candidate, Tinubu went to Amechi number 1, went to Amechi number 2, went to Amechi number 3. Don't forget that when Tinubu was governor, Amechi was speaker, just the same way Mahmoud was speaker. So Amechi was the likes of Mahmoud, boys to Tinubu. Yet, by age, by experience, by money, by contact, Tinubu was still going to his place. And this man didn't consider us, our own interest. Because sometimes you know that you have let me tell you, a candidate of a political party that the president, that has the president of the country is more powerful than the candidate of the other political party. You are almost like a president-elect. And so, we were not saying, okay, if he had come, it's okay, fine, okay, we're going to work. It has come, it has come. You know what would have happened? Some instrumentalities of government would have been shifted to us and would have made an inroad here. So we allowed it. Whether they do us due or something, we were just there, not by pride. And we lost everything.
Because Amechi did not agree to work with Tinubu.
He did not agree to work with Tinubu. And because he did not agree to work with Tinubu, he wasn't also coming out powerfully here to campaign for, let me tell you something. It will take a sitting governor seated down here to campaign for you as assembly in another party and campaign for another person there, because you have to be here. So to even come here and campaign for Toye and campaign for other aspirants.
He didn't do
it. Even when they went to court, he didn't support them. So this is about you. All of us will have just stayed until you become president. And then we'll come back to become whatever we want to be. Now again, we were out there. So you went back, you brought us to APC. Now we're in APC. We have a president in APC. We have to support APC. And then all of a sudden, you came back now. Just one day, you woke up and announced ADC. And children like us. Because I'm asking now, I know MH's leaders in all the local government. I'm a strong leader in the place now. I'm asking now, which of the leaders have followed him now?
Now, what you're saying is the claims of suppression now by APC is not necessarily true. However, the actions of the leaders of the ADC will determine the future, or is currently determining the future of ADC. And you're using Amaechi's political experiences as an example of why ADC, for you, is a WhatsApp group political party in Rivers State.
Yes.
Because you were once a staunch Amaechi loyalist, and you are describing the things that happened that literally killed the APC under Amaechi.
Sure.
Correct?
Yeah.
And that, to a large extent, has affected him making inroads in Rivers State with ADC.
Yes. So, what? That's it. We can't get away. I'm even wondering. The question is, you see, Wike is a leader, right? He's a state leader here. There are people who are sub-leaders in local government now. There are leaders in the world. So if you find his leaders in local government not being with him, his leaders in the world not being with him, you wonder which leader. You're not a leader until you have people you're leading. So in our own, I'm asking now, everybody who wanted to talk about ADC in Ikwere local government, especially in my ward, will look out to me to talk about ADC. So where?
And you're not ADC.
And we never, God forbid that I'm ADC.
So it will not work.
It's not working. It's not like it will not work as if they have potential. It doesn't exist.
All right, very well.
It's a matter that just occupies space.
All right, very well. Emmy, as we round up this particular story, what is your take as we move on?
See, I will just make one or two additions. You see, politics and election is not something you just see somewhere you wish and you get what you want. Politics and politicking involve decisive actions if you must win an election, because every political party is formed with the aim of winning an election and to form government. So if you think you want to form government, it means you must win an election first. And to win an election, there are processes. You will need to, market yourself. Market that your party, so that the people will accept you and later also accept your candidacy. And the people are not convinced. That is when they will not queue behind you by giving you the endorsement that you should go. When you win, it's solely there you can form the government. But when you sit back and you begin to terrorize, you begin to engage in activism rather than reaching out to people in consultation and trying to buy the minds of the people into believing in you first, it means you are just a Nollywood actor. Just acting. Even in Nollywood, there are some stories that are real to an extent. But when you engage in political philosophy, you terrorizing, that is not even in conformity with the reality on ground, you are just a serious person. When you say suppression, what is suppression? It means you are trying to grow. Somebody is not pressing you down that you must not grow. Look at the foundation through which you are standing, the platform. Is it the APC or the government of the day that says that you should disobey the constitution that established the party? How long has Arede Shola been a member of ADC before he was made the secretary? How long has David Ma been a member of ADC before he was made the chairman? Is it the APC or the government of the day that said David Ma come or disobey the constitution of ADC, you are not the chairman? Is it the APC or the government of the day that announced it? So where is the suppression coming from? So if you are talking about you being witch hunted, stop being a witch so that they won't hunt you. Now you created the avenue for litigations. You are now blaming it on somebody. Why didn't you sit back and read the constitution first of the ADC? They try to reach out to the members who were in the ADC. You come to an agreement before coming out to announce yourself at the leadership. Because I remember the day David Mark said, in fact, he announced himself as the chairman of the ADC. It was just a meeting that they called, not by the working committee, national work of the ADC that called the meeting, but the meeting of a group of friends who just came together. It was supposed to be a consultation meeting, even before talking about leadership. But at that meeting, that was where they announced leadership. So the problem of ADC today, number one, is legal issue also. Then number two, they have not been able to sell themselves to the citizens of the country, even from their respective wards. El-Rufai is battling in Kaduna. You, Amechi, you are from Ikore local government. Look at your political antecedents since you left power with Buhari administration. How far have you been carrying people along in that your ward, in that your constituency? How far have you been marketing for your party before even the ADC now? Then go to David Ma, go to his constituency. I have been there, his electoral district. Sometimes if you measure David Ma in the wrong place, you'll be beaten. You'll be beaten. They will see you as an enemy of the people. That the man who was our several contractor gave them bad road to the point that he was flying on a helicopter to his place. Because the road were unmotorable. Aregbosola, we saw the drama he put on in Osun State. So suddenly, Nigerians are not that moron. We are pained. We are crying. But yet our eyes are still open, we are seeing. So where is the suppression coming from? In Labour Party, you will say it's the government that is suppressing them. When you have your leadership crisis, some claiming leadership, some are not leadership, that even the leaders of the party are even betraying the party. Is it the APC that is doing it? So which are the PDP? Is it the APC that is creating that problem today? Oh, it's a secretary, it's not a secretary.
Right. Still talking about Labour Party. Senator Nenadi Osman-led faction of the Labour Party has called for the arrest of the acting chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Mrs. May Abamuche Mbu, over alleged criminal collusion with former Labour Party chairman Julius Abure. In a statement issued in Abuja by Osman's spokesman, Ken Asogwa, the faction accused Abamuche Mbu of recognizing Abure based on a fake court order. The faction alleged that the acting INEC chair invited Abure to a recent meeting of political parties despite a subsisting Supreme Court judgment affirming Osman's leadership. He said Abamuche Mbu's claim of acting under a court order was false, as a formal inquiry into the FCT High Court confirmed no such order existed. The group described INEC's action as a deliberate attempt to subvert justice and manipulate internal party affairs. It urged the incoming INEC chairman to investigate the matter and cleanse the commission of officials allegedly working with politicians to undermine democracy while mobilizing members for a peaceful nationwide protest. Emmy, what is your take on this?
See, political party is supposed to be an association of a people who has same political idea, a clearly defined manifesto to how they will want to galvanize a society to see that they establish themselves and establish a welfare for the people. When that element is missing, it's no longer a political party. Labour Party is a registered party and known by law. And by judicial precedent, we've seen that even the Supreme Court has decided that issue of intra-party squabble or whatever is exclusively the function and responsibility of the party to so determine their leadership. Even the one they took to court recently, Abure versus whosoever, even the Supreme Court made the same statement by dismissing the judgment of the High Court and Appeal Court, that those courts, they large jurisdiction to look into the affairs of the Labour Party. It's an internal affair that's supposed to be governed by the constitution of the Labour Party. So they call large jurisdiction to choose a leadership for the party. They dismiss all and ask them to go home and fix themselves. Use your rule and fix yourself. So who is a leader of a party? It's not a responsibility of the court to so determine. It's not even the function of INEC to choose for them. whosoever you presented to INEC in line with your law and acceptable to you is the leader of the party. INEC will not go about inquiry. Are you through the leader? Oh no, is it that one? INEC have no time to query or to investigate.
But
in
this instance, there is a court judgment, and if you go to INEC's website, when you check list of political parties, you see each political party and their executives, the national executives. You will see Julius Abure by court order, which means INEC takes cognizance and acts in line with judgment of the court.
Yes, that was what I was even going to, because from the way you were reading the story, they make mention of a document presented to INEC that made the Agbamuche
so that she was acting on court order.
Invite Abure for that meeting. So the acting chairman didn't do anything wrong.
Now, if you look at it, the acting chairman cannot claim that because she's high up before she even became the acting chairman of INEC. The acting chairman cannot claim that she is not aware of the Labour Party crisis, the fact that there is a Supreme Court judgment that is subsisting. And then how can a high court entertain a matter that the Supreme Court has already finalized upon and given judgment upon, giving a contrary court judgment, a lower court, as against the Supreme Court? That's one. And then they are now saying that they have actually investigated and found out that there is no such court order that is emanating. Now the question would be, recall that when the Supreme Court judgment came, Alex Soti, the Labour Party
the only governor,
Alex Soti, together with Nenadi Osman and the caretaker committee and some other members of the Labour Party, went to visit the ex-INEC chairman and presented the court judgment, the CTC copy of that judgment to INEC. So can INEC say, can INEC say they are not aware of that judgment? Because I'm aware that an official visit was paid to INEC with the CTC of that judgment presented.
Yes, you see, INEC cannot, especially given the fact that even the acting INEC chairman now was even, I think, the National Commissioner Legal of INEC. So
senior national.
So if there was anybody who should know all of those nuances that we have, except, because she knows that, and in fact, my brother was talking about the independences of the party. Let me tell you that INEC has a monitoring right on the party. If you take any of your members or something to court, you must join INEC. So INEC will know what is happening on the court. That's the only way they can obey. In fact, INEC will obey your judgment because you gave them the court judgment. They obey because they were part of the suits, per se. Whether they are going to be nominal, they will not say anything. INEC naturally will not say anything in the court, but they are just there to monitor and then get their own copy, from the INEC. So she wouldn't have said, and then she can't say that she was ignorant of that judgment. But again, there's INEC as an institution. I don't want to believe what these people have said, when you're doing your rider, that court judgment was fake. If it was truly fake or it becomes fake, one sure thing, there's a threat. The threat is that the legal services department of INEC is not working. That means that anybody can come and say, I'm governor.
Present any document.
And become governor to INEC. Anybody can say, I'm the candidate. That's a place we need to watch. The legal services of INEC. I served in INEC. And I know how they work. So there are documents you can't just present to INEC. Because like I told you, if it has to do with the leadership of the party, now let me tell you what, if it's done now, that all of these parties will begin to accuse the president. Do you know that as it is now, that because of the leadership, if INEC knows that the court has given judgment and there are no clear judgment, that INEC can dissolve the executive or national executive and appoint somebody and ask them to conduct an election between that time and 2 months. Do you know that? When they know that there are no clear, for instance, all of these contradictions that are happening.
Was the statement of now some were saying that the judgment of the Supreme Court was evasive, kind of. It was not declarative.
Declarative is not enough.
Had it been, it was declarative that, you know, it would have been taken care of. Recall that when that judgment came up, there were a lot of arguments about that judgment. Abure was tendering arguments, you know, in a way that the judgment favored him. Nenadi Osman was also tendering arguments in a way that the judgment also favored her.
Thank you.
And her caretaker committee. So one would say, was that judgment declarative enough for a particular faction to say, this is what the Supreme Court judgment has said, and this is what it is? Could it also be the lacuna that INEC is building upon that has made it silent over Labour Party leadership crisis?
That's what I'm saying, that the only fault, like I said, I wanted to say that judgment was not declarative enough. I'm going to say something about that. But apart from even not being declarative enough, is the only fear I have right now is I'm just wishing, I'm praying that the lower court, the high court judgment is not a fake one. That's just what I'm saying. Because if it was not a fake one, because this judgment was not declaratory, you can act on that first, awaiting appeal. But if it's fake, that is where my fear is. If it's fake, it means that INEC in itself, you understand, INEC in itself has not gone back to assess certain documents. It just don't accept documents because they are coming from court. There are documents flying here and there, even on land and all of that from court. Now, that's number one. Number two is that even the Usman, what I would have thought is that, you see, after judgment has been given and the interpretation is confusing, you can go back to the Supreme Court to say, please interpret it first. You can go back to court. Just interpretation. It's no longer...
So that's what the Usman caretaker committee should have done.
Should have done. Just go and say, give us the interpretation of this. Because there are interpretations...
It's not that clear.
It's not clear. We are not clear about this interpretation. Give us a clearer interpretation of this judgment. Even though there are lawyers who just want to interpret constitution to favor their client too. You know what was happening in River State here, where people will give judgment, this court. Somebody will say, no, that one, they didn't put the other one. They didn't call Martins. They didn't call, I don't understand it. You know, technicalities that you know that the court has done something. So I think that they would also have sought interpretation of the court, a clearer one. And that is, and INEC cannot do that. It is the parties that will seek for that, then they will not join INEC. Then that interpretation, and that interpretation, the court must not sit to. They will just sit down and write and interpret it, make it clearer for you what they mean. So in that, but here, like he said, there was something my brother here brought out, a silent issue. That silent issue is that first you're a political party because you believe in one ideology or you believe in one thing. That means that you can seek down. That's why when people complain about, you know, people emasculating their party, I laugh. Lorisha, I have known you for some time now. You don't know my wife. You don't know my children. Is that correct? But the day I begin to go for divorce in court now, you will know my wife. You will know everybody. Then I will have allowed externals to come and take. Why should even APC allow them organize themselves? Look at what is happening in the Labour Party again. There's Nemade. You know, don't you know that the sitting is a politician who is in power will be happy having these two people fight themselves. So the party asked them, the APC now asked them not to meet together.
So this one is not the hand of APC.
It's not the hand of APC.
It's purely Labour Party.
Is it
their internal crisis.
I told you now that.
But Abure has called on the president at some point. Abure called on the president to come and reconcile the differences.
Yes, because he's looking at, maybe the man is looking at, we can't reconcile ourselves, so we can't.
So now the president, who is of the opposition
should come and reconcile. That's what we're talking about now. But is that also not a failure on Obi? What's happening in Labour Party? Was that not a failure on Obi? That means that he cannot handle a party that he took over. Was not a failure. Until looking at it, that they don't know. You know, let me tell you, I can say directly that as soon as Obi noticed that the Labour Party had made a name now, that he's sure that somebody may come and contest, because he fears to contest primaries. You know, he fears to contest primaries. So he's trying to go to AA. You know, other political parties that will just give him a ticket. Look at it now, Obi came. I can tell the Labour Party was there, right? Was just there, like every other political party. Just like ADC was there before this people came in. Labour Party was just there. You came in, all of a sudden, because there is this, not for the love of Obi, but there is this thing that, you know, when a tenant is fighting with a landlord, the people around that vicinity tend to support the tenant. Because when a stronger person is arguing with a weaker person, they tend to support the weaker person. Oh, anyone deal with them, let me use our language. Anyone deal with them, anyone do this one. No, I understand that. So Obi came like somebody who is of not that stock. And his voice, that is pretentious voice, that has no reality. And all the contradictions that Obi was making, Obi was in the same classmate with Odele. They said they would play football. Meanwhile, Odele has long left secondary school before Obi came into secondary school. All that didn't matter again because people just wanted another voice. And so they followed him. And they brought that massive support to him in that Labour Party. And just after that Labour Party, and they have lost that Labour Party, you would have sat down to now restructure, because one of the accusations has been the structure of the party, to now structure the party very well because you were like their president. No, you didn't sit down to do that. In fact, all the Labour Party candidates that I knew that went to court didn't have access to me. So it was not about the party, it was about Obi. I am saying it, I can mention the candidate of the River State, the Guba candidate of River State, Beatrice Utubo. She should come here and challenge me. I know that I'm so close to her that she didn't even move to Obi. She and Obi wasn't talking because Obi wanted. Didn't Obi came to River State to negotiate for his own and then allow Beatrice Utubo to fail? So it wasn't about. That's why he cannot claim that he was the person who made OT. It was just about Obi. So Obi was more of the obedient than even the Labour Party. No wonder as soon as anything, he was just there, was just waiting, looking like this fine boy. I've done you good. So that means Obi cannot even, look at if he cannot organize Labour Party, not APC, not PDP. If he cannot organize Labour Party, how can Obi organize Senate, National Assembly? How can Obi organize Nigeria, this complex country? Where people will call him a boy, sit down. Okay, when a big use gun and begin to shoot them, it's still a negotiation. I think they said the president is trying to suppress them, you know, or witch hunt them. My brother said, if they are witch hunting, you don't be a witch now. So they won't witch hunt you. You know, that the president is trying to. Have you ever seen the president shout, hey, go and do this one? He's still a politician now, trying to do his own thing, if that's what you mean. So why didn't you organize your own party? No. Nobody lost. Atiku didn't organize PDP. And everybody's leaving. They are leaving. And then today you think you can, the same person, you see, you need to text the person. If you're not family man enough, you shouldn't be a local government. You can't be a local government chairman. If you don't know how to organize your family, you won't organize the local government chairman, council. If you don't know how to organize those things, you can't. That's why you can, you know, that's why we produce governors and not produce leaders. It's a different ball game. Now he's there. Party, Labour Party that is his own, like they look like kids, like children in his hand. He couldn't organize Labour Party. In fact, he's even taking OT to come and know what to do in Labour Party, and he's there. Aburo that was going with him like PA, he couldn't handle them. He was there, they slipped off him. Then all he needed, oh no, it's the president that is trying to disorganize. How? You exposed it. Your lack of organizational skill has exposed it. And people should know that you can't organize Nigeria, this complex country. These senators.
Right. You have something to say before we move on to the next story.
Yes. First, INEC is an impartial authority. It is never the responsibility of INEC to go checking who is authentic leader and who is not of party. You make mention of that Supreme Court judgment, it wasn't declarative, right?
that statement or the pronouncement of Supreme Court is unambiguously clear. It says that intra-party squabbles are responsibility of the party to take care of themselves. And Supreme Court even went further to mention that the High Court that entertained that matter in the first place,
Abure's matter, that gave Abure
victory, lack the power to do so. And the Supreme Court is able to lash at this appeal court that you that even offend the decision of the lower court, you also err in law because you lack jurisdiction to entertain that matter. And the Supreme Court now came to themselves that even them cannot choose leader for the Labour Party. So go and fix your house. Then give Nigerians a leader of the party that people will now know and work with. This is the leader or the chairman of the party. It is now only on the leadership of the party to organize this. This is where Peter Obi and the rest came in.
No, but sir, let me not interject. I'm just trying to get you to where we are talking about ambiguity. Yes, they have removed themselves from the responsibility of dictating. But two persons came and said, I am the leader. This person said, I'm the leader. Is that that? And he said, we don't have right to dictate whom we are leader. That means that he have also allowed those two persons to still, yeah, like Abode will say, I am to claim being the same leader, the same way these people are claiming, going back to where they are. That's why we talked about not declaratory. But they have said we don't have, you go back to your house.
Yes. You have a constitution that binds it together.
Sure,
and
I agree with that.
States who is a leader and how you can become a
leader, yeah,
party.
Sure.
So the Supreme Court expected them now to go and read the constitution and say, this is how you can become a leader and this is the tenor of that leadership. You resolve yourself. You call yourself adult. That is why you form yourself as a political party now. So if adults cannot organize themselves, what makes you an adult?
But then when you look at the Labour Party crisis, it appears to be tricky in a way because, I mean, Abure's tenure actually did expire. And he refused to step down even when party members and leaders said, your leadership has expired. Now, hold on. Went ahead to, first of all, fix national convention in Abia State. And then Alex Oti invited him, had a conversation and told him, you know, you cannot fix national convention. You don't have... Alex Oti literally told him to step down because, I mean, do you call for national convention after the expiration of your tenure? And based on that, he did a press conference and cancelled the national convention that was to be held in Abia State and moved it to Anambra State.
Yes.
Where that convention held, the question would be, was INEC present in that convention? The answer is no. But constitutionally, isn't INEC supposed to witness that convention?
INEC, whenever you are organizing your congresses or whatever, INEC is just an observer.
Yes, but that role is important.
Yes, it's just an observer. Very important, but also it's just an observer. INEC will not contribute. We will not tell you, no, this is the process and this is all. No, INEC will just come and observe. Sit that there as dummies. You know, dummies don't talk. That is what somebody said. They will just sit there. Now, the question now is this. When the party structure and the Labour Party constitution state very clear who should call a meeting, who should call for congresses and convention.
The national chairman.
He stated there.
Issued by the national secretary.
Expiration
yes.
of the tenure of that person.
Yes, that's why I said national chairman.
We have unconventional practice here. Where a presidential candidate of a party, that the party says, okay, it's not there before, you are not our candidate at the federal level, you are a candidate at the state level, automatically that person becomes the leader
of the party. Yeah,
it's a practice here. So it is now onus on the leadership, since the party structure is not failing. The chairman refused to obey. Before the expiration of that time, there was supposed to be a party meeting where they will discuss. Then those they relied on as the sudden leader of the party was supposed to take exactly position to ensure that the party stays together and the rules are followed. This thing would have happened even in APC. See how President Tinubu handled the crisis within APC when he came in. He took an exact position. To the extent that Ganduje have to go. Ganduje have to go. take APC to court. Then we tell you that it's an internal agreement. This is what we chose to do as party, and we have the right to do, which they did. But the Labour Party, who took that position? Nobody filled the gap. Although it's a culture of Obi, never to organize anything. He always want to reap for where he didn't sow. He did it in Abga. Ojuku organized Abga, yes, and hand over Abga to him. I will sit aside now. You organize Abga. Make sure that Abga doesn't die. And he vowed to remain in Abga till eternity. But what happened? Immediately he saw political interest. If he traded to the Abga, some people want to contest, which he never wanted, and all that. Immediately saw this crisis and the rest of it. Obi just pitched them with Obiano. Later, he ran away and left Abga. Instead of resolving the issues in Abga, he ran away. Obiano have to find a way. Abga was in disarray, but Obiano have to find a way to put Abga together. He went to PDP. Immediately he saw party interest in emanating in PDP. This one want to connect. He ran away from PDP. He's always running. Obi is not a man that organized. He's not that leader. He only tell you about leadership. You know, there is a way you manipulate the minds of the people. He is very good in manipulating people. You just speak to them what they want to hear. You might not necessarily be saying the fact. Just tell them what they want to hear, and you capitalize on it. That's what he's doing. He's not running away from Labour Party. A small unit of the larger society that they call family affair. Abure even expressed his own disappointment that they expected the leader of the party, even the secretary of Labour Party, that they expected Peter Obi to call them together. Something this is vice presidential candidate. What is this his name?
Ahmed Dati.
Ahmed Dati. There was a meeting that was called by Abure Fatu and the rest. Ahmed Dati went to the meeting. You see the level of respect they accorded Ahmed Dati. That he is a leader. This is supposed to be our presidential candidate, not even Peter Obi. Everything he said, the people were willing to submit. What Labour Party is lacking is leadership. Leadership. So you can't blame INEC. You even read that in the portal of the Labour Party there, even INEC portal, you saw Julius Abure there as the chairman of the party. So what do you expect of the
by
INEC?
court order?
By court order, huh?
You saw his name there, isn't it? So what do you expect an institution created by law to do?
No, after that, recall that Alex Abure's tenure had expired.
It had expired. It's not the function of INEC to tell them who the leader.
Hold on. And then that national convention held, and the party is saying they do not recognize that national convention. And then recall that Alex Oti had called, and he called it an enlarged
because he's assumed the leadership of the leader of the party.
Where he now called every aspirant, every person that ever contested an election, from the national down to even local, every single stakeholder was represented. It was an enlarged stakeholder. Even Ahmed Dati attended.
Which they took decision, right?
They took decision, and in that decision, in that particular meeting, Nenade Osman emerged.
Choosing to act.
Yes.
What
the
they're supposed to do, what they're
yes.
supposed to do is what they are doing now. It's their responsibility to so expose whatever that is fake. It's not INEC. It's for them to expose it. That even the court document you are relying on.
Now, Chizi also made a point here that you can't sweep under the carpet. When Chizi said that INEC has a legal team.
Yes.
And the acting chairman of INEC at that time, Abomuche, was, you said she was
a national commissioner of legal
in INEC. So now one would expect that by that position, she's very experienced and has been following, these issues, this legal tussle, from get-go. Now, the question would be, if the legal team of INEC is functional, how does someone present a court order and you acted on it without verification?
See, Doresha, this thing is simple.
When you say it is the job of the political party. In the first instance, did Nenade Osman's party know that there was a court order and that such a move was made to INEC? Is it not the place of INEC before acting on a document? I mean, these are the issues we are having in the... Hold on. These are the issues we are having right now that made one of the recent resignation, I think Nadia also, one of Tinubu's minister resigned on account of certificate forgery. Yeah. Now, another minister again is facing litigation on account of certificate forgery as well. Now the question, now, to do that, very well. Now the question would be, and INEC has a legal team. Yes. Is it not their legal department that has the responsibility to verify every legal document? Now this is what that comes. The one would INEC act on that court order without proper verification? This one INEC should do. Yes. The court say go and resolve yourself, right? Go and resolve yourself. Then suddenly a document emanated for somewhere. Somebody whom INEC know, they knew this person that this was the former leader or the current leader. INEC is not privy to such an information because it's supposed to be a party decision. And the man presented the document by court. I have been recognized to act in this capacity, right? INEC legal department, their job is this. It is not to go and challenge that document, because if they do, there is a place of challenging a document and a place. Hold on. There is a place of challenging a document and a place of verifying the authenticity of a document. It is the responsibility of Labour Party, which they have just done now. What Nenade said now is this. What Nenade said now, that is why I'm agreeing with her to an extent. The thing now is this. It is for them to also serve INEC, calling the attention of INEC to that document that is fake. INEC will now consult their legal team. What do we do since we have this document here? This one is claiming, this one is claiming. So what do we do? So Nenade Osman, are they even aware? You have to follow how sequences happen. Were they even aware that there was a court order in the first instance? It's not the responsibility of INEC to inform them now. That means you are not a good party. You are not doing what you are supposed to do.
No, let me tell you, there's a missing link. There's something we're missing. You know, when you were talking about the role of INEC in the conventions of the party, you painted it as if INEC is just rubber stamp there.
No.
Now, let me just finish. You know, while I was in school, there was this very contradictory course that we do. Very contradictory, even in the name. It's called compulsory elective. How an elective will be compulsory? You know, an elective means that you can either take this or the other. It's a compulsory elective. That course is just 0 grade, 0 point. If you fail it, you won't graduate. If you get 100, it does not add anything to your CGPA. Do you understand what I mean? It does not. But yet, if you fail it, you won't graduate. That is how INEC and the convention are. If you don't invite INEC to your convention, whatever you've done is null and void in party. Because why? All INEC is there is not to force you on their rule, but on the rule. Because don't forget that you can't be a registered political party without INEC looking at your laws. Part of the criteria for you registering a political party is that they have laws. So it is in conformity to your laws that INEC, that's why you can see INEC will go and monitor this political party having direct primaries and go and monitor party C having adoption or something.
Sorry, but there is a situation that happened here where INEC tried to derecognize certain political party. They went to court and the court asked INEC that you don't have such power to do.
No, the recognizing now is not the leadership. I'm not talking about leadership. I'm not talking about...
So from the scenario you painted, that is why I put in.
Yes, let me tell you how that works. There was a law that all of a sudden the National Assembly had gone to amend that law. The law says that if you don't have a certain number of persons at the National Assembly, you are supposed to be recognized. Do you understand that? That means that a political party cannot just start a 16 like that without having this. So if National Assembly has now amended the law, they will follow this new law.
Yes, because there is now a
So, but a political party must submit their financial account statement.
These are responsible for INEC.
So they must know. So INEC knows when your tenure has expired. INEC knows.
Yes, but they will not force you.
No, wait now. Look at how they force. Is that your signature will no longer be recognized in INEC. So they force
when INEC is notified by the party.
No. You don't need to
on their own, they won't take decision.
No. See, let me tell you something. If your tenure expires and there's no new election, if you submit somebody as candidate, INEC will not recognize that person.
Based on somebody.
Your tenure has expired.
Let him have his say.
Let me. INEC will not recognize that person. That's very what we are talking about here. You remember I said it is in the middle, Sambo's duties to go for interpretation of the law. You know,
not
to look
the
at
Osman.
The Osman. But on the document, to know whether the document is authentic or not. So you are saying that anybody can wake up tomorrow, submit a document to INEC, and INEC will just allow
accept it without
verification? No, it is INEC responsibility. The legal service is not even department; it's called Legal Services Department of INEC that will check, because in the first instance, INEC will not obey a court order that he didn't put them as joined. You know why? Because they won't be there.
They are not respondents. Yes. It's not binding on them.
Yes, it's not binding on them. So sometimes when you bring them in, if they want to respond to this, they will call the court. Is this a document? They will verify the document and then begin to act on document. So if these people are, like I'm using the word if, because I don't know whether their claim is also correct. If their claim is correct, it's a threat. Because you see, look at it, especially in this country, we are all grown now. We know that in this country that we will have judgment flying. You will see High Court give judgment, then another High Court give the same judgment, contradictory judgment. So I think we will accept all the judgments. We will place versus them and place. You will have to look at the judgment together and look at, is this contradictory or not? So if the document, I'm using the word if the document is fake, then there is a threat.
All right, very well. Well, Emmy wanted me to look at the functions of INEC. Now, it says, in addition to the functions conferred on it by the Constitution. So there is already
Section 153.
Hold on. Emmy, hold on. Okay. So there is already an existing function, which is not stated here. But it says, in addition to the functions conferred on it by the Constitution, the Commission shall have power to A, conduct voter and civic education, B, promote knowledge of sound democratic election processes, and C, conduct any referendum required to be conducted under the provisions of the 1999 Constitution or an act of the National Assembly. Now, in everything that you just mentioned here, it did not say conduct an election. So INEC's actual function is not stated.
That is why I wanted to refer you as when I say Section 153 of the 1999 Constitution.
Now, I am working with what you have given to me.
Yes, we don't have time to go back to that area. That is why I just mentioned
INEC has functions.
Yes.
INEC has responsibility to political parties.
The responsibility are limited. That is why I'm telling you, they are limited.
To monitoring.
They are limited to monitoring of those
now, monitoring also means, hold on, monitoring also means when a party brings court order to INEC, INEC has the responsibility of authenticating that document before it acts on it.
You mentioned something the other time.
Because you're saying INEC, you're saying it's not the job of INEC,
no, he mentioned
but it is the job of the political party.
He mentioned something the other time that when you are filing a matter before a court, you must make INEC a joinder to the suit. You are bringing in INEC.
But that's common sense.
You are bringing in INEC.
Shouldn't that be standard practice?
Wait now. You are bringing in INEC in order to make sure that INEC decision that will be taken thereafter and in line with whatever decision that will be taken by the court.
Yes.
Isn't it? Yeah. He mentioned that one. So if you are taking that to this scenario,
yes,
A Supreme Court has entered judgment already and said it is the responsibility of the party to determine who their leader
I think you're deviating.
The leader is.
No,
right?
I think
what you're saying is entirely different.
It's different here.
As how?
What I'm saying is the High Court judgment. You know,
Order.
This is an order. The order recognizing Abure again.
Yes.
Right? It recognizes Abure. And the Supreme Court ruled that even the High Court in the first place have no jurisdiction on that matter, which has been settled by court. Now, if the court has said it's an internal affair of the party to choose their leader who should represent them in matters, then suddenly somebody now came with another order. No, this is not negating this, another order that for now my party says I am. So it's
not the party, the court. Understand that it's a court that gave the order.
What was the prayer before the court that gave the order?
Not the party. In what capacity now? Because when you're looking at it, that's why it becomes a problem. Now the question is not who filed the matter in court or whatever, or who obtained the order. The question is, we are looking at Nenadi Osman's allegation.
Yes.
That they said that there was a formal inquiry to the FCT High Court, which confirmed that no such order existed.
So
now the question is, why did INEC
not confirm that?
Why did they not authenticate that?
The only time for INEC to act now is this. Then they have discovered that this is the situation. Right to INEC. INEC will dissociate himself.
Oh, no, you're not getting the point. We are not saying that will not be done. They are doing it.
So why INEC cannot say what you brought is fake or not? It's not the responsibility to go and find out in court.
So which means in running for election, I can claim to be a PhD holder when I'm not, and INEC will accept me.
There is a provision to do that in INEC. The law backs INEC. That is why INEC will make publication. There is a time given to INEC to publish the credentials and whatever.
Okay, which means I can also take a fake court document and give to INEC and claim to be governor of the university.
No, you can't do that.
Why?
Because INEC is the one that will issue certificate of return.
Oh, you don't know that INEC issues certificate of return and court gives judgment and INEC issues another.
Yes, once INEC issue that certificate of return, the court quash that one. That one is withdrawn. So INEC will issue.
So if someone will bring a fake quash judgment to INEC,
you can't do that.
So why?
No, you can't do that. There's different scenario. The different scenario.
Now, why
that matter?
I mean, as we round up very quickly, why is it that when judgment is brought before a CTC is brought before INEC, INEC will always respond that the legal team is studying that document.
Yes.
Hold on. Which means, first of all, INEC has a legal team which gives legal advice. Right? Now, when this document was brought, one would say standard practice of an institution of such pedigree will be to verify.
It's not a judgment.
Hold on, please. To verify the authenticity. This is the lacuna now that is giving rise to Nenadi Osman's allegation. And you saying that, oh, INEC, it's okay, any dictum and Harry can bring documents.
That is not what I'm saying.
Hold on. That's what you're saying.
No.
Any Tom, Dick, and Harry can bring court order to INEC, and INEC will implement it without verifying the authenticity of that document. It's beating me.
No, this is a party.
Does INEC have
hold on. What was brought is not a judgment.
Does INEC have
it was an order?
Does INEC have oversight function?
Subject to defense and counter defense.
Now let me tell you something. maybe I'll okay, I don't know. I will round up with that.
Yes, please. We're out of time already.
Okay, let me say this. You see, because INEC even did say that Abure is recognized by court order, and if that court order is fake, the woman and all the national officers of INEC should go to prison. It is fake.
No.
Do you know why? Because you know what they have done? They have authenticated that this thing by saying by court order. That means that they have supported that court order.
It's a criminal offense that Abure should be dealt with.
We are already out of time, gentlemen. I wish we have more time to discuss further on this. Thank you so much, Chichi, for coming. It's a pleasure. And Emmy, it's always a pleasure having you. And thank you so much, our viewers, for always staying connected to us. And we wrap it up here on this episode of Open Conversation. I remain Laurentia Ugu. Transition News comes up next. Do not go away.
Come and salvage us from where we are.